Welcome to Between Seven Mountains. Today's Bergen-based guest is SJUR, the majorly successful Norwegian DJ, who has remixed huge hits for artists such as Ed Sheeran and Pitbull, as well as producing original songs such as Let Me Love You and What I Do, which have together amassed over 120 million streams worldwide. This has accelerated his popularity to being one of Norway's most in-demand DJs. His interest in DJing began very early, with his father working as a traveling DJ during his upbringing in the 90s, and has provided a strong influence on his musical life. Later inspired by the DJs playing at his local pub when working as a doorman, the idea of trying it out for himself struck him in 2009, and he has since kept his creative output at a maximum, with the latest being his remix of Tommy Sario's Just a Little. So, here to speak with us about his story, please welcome SJUR.
It's a great pleasure having you here today.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Really good. Yeah.
Are you surviving COVID-19?
Yeah, I'm hanging on. You know? Yeah.
I mean, me myself, I've spent a lot of more time than ever inside.
Yeah, same with me. A lot more time at home as well. Like I moved my studio from my my usual studio to my home. So I had my studio at home for a while, but now I'm finally back in my old studio again and working there.
I mean, I know you, and I mean, you're a really social person, and being that much home during these times, is that something that gives you inspiration, creativity, or does it demotivate you?
Yeah, it's a bit depressive, to be sitting at home and we're working with, I'm not working with vocalists and songwriters right now, so I'm basically sitting and making instrumentals. And I've had some sessions that when I have on Zoom with vocalists or songwriters to try to make something over on online, but it doesn't work that way. Like you don't get the feeling. No. So when you're sitting there and you're trying to listen to some a cappella from vocalists that are sitting in in Oslo or in Copenhagen, for instance. You don't get the vibe that you're getting when you're in the same studio.
No, because I think before COVID-19, people were a bit excited about video conferencing and that kind of stuff. Yeah. It was kind of like a bit cool. Yeah. But no, I think everybody's just like that tired of it in every single way. I mean, if you are going to have a conversation like that, you lose like the human aspect.
Yeah, for real. Like this week, I was supposed to be in Oslo now from Tuesday until today. Tomorrow, working with vocalists and songwriters there. And like last weekend, we were out and had a few beers, and a friend of mine tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I had to take a test now on Monday, so I had to cancel the whole trip. But luckily I was negative. I didn't have it, so so you're safe.
Yeah, but what people doesn't know here is that we are actually sitting 10 meters from each other. This is just in a virtual environment. We are totally safe, guys. Yeah, and I mean, because normally you travel quite a lot, you meet a lot of people. So I mean, the world just suddenly changed for you in every single way. Yeah,
I had to cancel all my shows indefinitely, from middle of March until every show I had booked was has been, most of them has actually been postponed to next year. Like a lot of festivals, they just keep the same lineup almost, at least for me, and just book me to next year.
So, yeah. Well, but on the positive note, in one way, I think that. I mean, this strange times gives people we are starting realizing how important it is to, actually go to concerts. Yeah. Listen to music.
And meet people.
It's a major part of your life, which we've probably been a bit spoiled on that as well. Yeah. So I think that on a positive note, after COVID-19, I think it would be a bigger need of going to concerts, listening. During COVID-19, it might be more streamings than ever.
Yeah, people have live concerts, and that's cool. But in some time you get tired of just sitting there at home by yourself, maybe having a beer and with some guy play on his guitar from home. Yeah. But and I also think that the artists that are going to survive this thing is the artists that actually make music themselves, because you have the main DJs that only live of being on main stage and playing other people's songs. I don't think they're going to survive in the same way that we are, us that are sitting at home now making music. So I think it's going to come a lot of good music out of this, because all of the big artists that are usually out touring the whole summer. I have now been sitting home and making music. So I think we're going to see a lot of good music like this autumn and maybe winter and next summer.
Yeah. I mean, so, I mean, as soon as this just calms down, the world goes back in track, maybe the bad, hard times will actually give us some more magic. I mean, if you look at all artists from day one, I mean, some of them made the best stuff in the darkest moments. Anyway, But let's go back in time. I mean, we know you, and we are big fans, and truly happy that you managed to come in here today. But I just wonder, like, how did this all start?
Like the whole career or the production kind of it?
I would say, like, what did get you into music? I mean, I know that your dad was a DJ.
Yeah, he was a DJ. Yeah, he owned he owned a couple of clubs back home when I was younger, and so he was away most of the weekends playing as a DJ.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I still remember like some of the weekends when he had like big artists. I remember he had a club in Camp.
Yeah,
wow. They were playing at one of his clubs, and I joined him and. I met them at the airport, and I got this CD, which they all signed. And the funny thing is that now, I think it was last year or the year before, I was in Tønsberg, and they were playing. And I just brought that CD, and and I went backstage, and I met them, because I think I was playing maybe the same night before them, or the day before or something. And I showed them the CD. I'm like, hey, do you remember this little kid, this 12-year-old kid, like in 2002, that you guys on this little airport in Sandane?
Yeah.
Do you remember this guy? And they were like, yeah, was that you? I'm like, yeah, that's me. Oh, so fucking cool.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so fun. I mean, I'm a big fan of them as well. I mean, especially their live shows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
I think this was one of the concerts they've been having, like in Foynhagen in Tønsberg. They have like one year, I think, which is like they have big productions and cannons. Like spraying out confetti.
Yeah, they are always doing crazy stuff. So, I mean, I don't know a lot of people that actually can say that their dad was a DJ.
Yeah. True.
It's almost like a cool concept for an album. Like,
My dad was a DJ.
Maybe that's the next album.
But yeah, after that, I went to school and. Actually, when I was 17, my girlfriend, which was 1 year older, she was 18, and she was Russ that year. And I wanted to join in and join the party, but I was 17, so I couldn't come in, right?
Of course.
So what I did was I contacted the local pub, like, hey, can I be a DJ? And he knew that I was, my girlfriend, she was Russ that year. So he didn't ask me for an ID. So I was like, hey, can I be a DJ during all the Russ events this year? And he was like, yeah, sure you can. Of course, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I started DJing there, and he didn't ask me for an ID. And, after that, they just kept booking me on Saturdays. So I was playing there when I was 17 for like half a year or something. Yeah.
I mean, that's quite impressive. You managed to get into it quite early then.
Yeah. And when I was 18, I actually celebrated my birthday at the pub. And then he asked me, hey, how old are you today? I'm like, I'm 18, and he just started laughing. Like he's been serving beer for half a year when I was 17.
Oh wow! So I mean, your dad definitely inspired you.
Yeah.
And then down the line, you didn't decide to like. I mean, did you have a vision already?
No. That was just for fun, And when I moved to Bergen to study to be a computer engineer. I started working at the club in the door, actually, as a security in the door. Yeah.
That's kind of cool, like engineer. then suddenly going from that to
but it was just like besides the studies, because to earn some money to have some money to live on. What better work to have? Like you work in the weekend, so it doesn't affect the school or anything. So I was doing that, and after school, when I finished school in the week, I went down to the club and I went in and I tried to be a DJ, right? When it was closed, I just put up the DJ equipment and started fooling around. And then the owner, he noticed. So one Saturday he just called me and hey, are you working tonight? And I'm like, no. I've seen that you've been DJing, when it's closed. Do you want to come down and play tonight? Because the DJ hasn't shown. So that was the first gig I had, like official gig in Bergen.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A part of this program, and the reason we started it, is that we just like started talking about the fact that, I mean, this is a tiny little city in tiny little Norway. I mean, Norway is such a small place on this planet, far up north, in the middle of Norway.
Norway.
We were starting talking about that. Why is there so many amazing talents in Bergen and coming out of Bergen? And I mean, part of your network have reached so many people. So my question there is like, why? I mean, do you think there is something with the community Bergen, the way we meet each other, or the fact that it's just a tiny little city?
Yeah, I think it's a bit tiny community, you know, like everyone knows everyone in this. And everyone is so supportive, you know. You have the festival Bill West, right?
Yeah.
And you can see like up and coming artists, and you know they discover a lot of new talents here. And I think people are like really good at working with the talents that you know they discover in the city. And you can see all the management. Like I'm signed to Made Management, and I have a booking. My booking agency is Standing Ovation.
Yeah.
And they are both based in Bergen, you know. And everyone knows everyone. So I think that's a lot of.
Yeah, and the guys behind Made, I mean, I would say that they have like discovered so many talents over the years. It's like they know how to spot the talents.
Yeah. So and I think I was the first DJ act they've ever signed. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they have any just like normal producers, you know, signed as an artist. So yeah.
And then you started like, I mean. You touched the DJ career as a kid, and then you started studying and so on, and then suddenly you stumbled back to it in a way.
Yeah.
And then you started producing music.
Yeah, and the production side of it was actually I heard Kygo, you know, on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And you know, I knew him from before, so. Yeah, I've actually interviewed him. We had a little blog going on when I was working as a DJ.
Yeah.
So I spoke to him a couple of times, and then I saw him posting music on SoundCloud. I thought that maybe I can do that too. You know, just take some, you know, take a bit chill tune that you maybe want that everyone knows. Make a club version of it and play it in the club. So that's what I did. So I spent like 1 or 2 months, I think, to make the first song. It's terrible. I think it's still out on SoundCloud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
wow.
it is terrible. It is terrible. But yeah, I made that one. But I actually just made it to play it in the club. So a friend of mine told me that, hey, can you put it on the SoundCloud? Because I think more people would like to hear this one. So I did. I put it on SoundCloud, and I got 1 million views in a month on SoundCloud, which was like insane on the first track. So I think that's since that happened, you know, I got more motivation to continue making music.
Yeah.
So then I started studying, you know, making music, you know, music theory, and learn how to play the piano and stuff like that. Yeah.
And that's something you've done by yourself.
Yeah. Besides school and work, everything. Yeah.
Amazing. And how does it feel like, I mean, when you reach that many people that fast, and also, I mean, I know that you have reached out to tens and tens of millions of people, and I also meet people around the world when I travel that either, I mean, suddenly they have played your music without knowing, or if I mention I know you, they are like, oh wow, can you get an autograph, or can you? I mean, and I also have I mean, a really good friend of mine in America. I mean, in outside San Francisco. And he's such a big fan of you.
Oh, nice.
But he didn't discover you through me.
No.
He was like, Bjorn, you need to listen to this artist from Bergen. And I was like, yeah, I know that guy.
But America is like, I think it's like 2/3 of all my streams are coming from America.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's by far the biggest country, like in all my Spotify streams. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And another thing, I had a conversation the other day. I mean, I have another friend called TB, drum and bass artist, and a couple of years ago, he was actually DJing in a bar here in Bergen, and a friend of mine had like some international guests. I mean, from in his company, and they were eating a dinner and whatever. And then one of the guests was like suddenly like totally shocked, and he was watching like. And I mean, the rest of the crew, they were just sitting there eating.
Yeah.
And he said, "You guys know that it's the biggest DJ within drum and bass. right there, and you just are just sitting here and eating dinner. And I think that can happen in Bergen. I mean, you can go out on a normal day, and I mean, we might not understand it, but when you are DJing here, I mean, lots of millions of people know you all around the world.
Yeah, they do. But also the same thing when, you know, I remember just when Alan Walker blew up, you know, when he had the song Faded, right?
Yeah.
I was playing at, I don't remember where it was, I think it was Rick's or something. And he was out there with some friends, and you know, he just came up to the stage with his USB stick, like, "Hey, you want to do some back to back?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, dude."
No way.
Yeah. But at that point, I think he was having his mask on all the time, so I don't think that much people recognize him. But he was like playing like half an hour back to back with me on Rick's, you know.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
And I think we did the same thing at Jakob Paul on 17th of May one year. I think, yeah. People were like, "Yeah, Alan Walker is playing," and people were like, "What the fuck? Alan Walker? Is he here?"
Oh wow! Yeah, but I think we had a party as well where you were playing, and then
that was right. Yeah,
and then suddenly Matoma was playing.
Yeah. I was playing the Russ event, the Landstreff for Russ in 2017, I think it was.
Probably
18 or something. Yeah, and I was booked to play at your place at the after party.
Yeah,
that's true. And I met Matoma backstage at this event, and I was like, "Hey, you want to join me and have another gig?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, man." And then I remember I came to your after party, and we didn't have a microphone, so we took the headphones because they can work as a microphone, you know, right? Just plug it into the microphone jack, and it's like, "Hey, we now have Matoma in the building." People, I remember you, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is Matoma here? Is he playing here today?"
I mean, for those who don't know Matoma, just Google him. I mean, he's also like he have hundreds of millions.
Yeah. He's super huge. He's a great guy. Yeah.
But that is, I don't think that is like normal in other places in the world. I mean, in Bergen that happens.
Yeah.
It is just like the Ylvis guys suddenly were in the same party, I think.
Yeah.
And without us knowing, we were playing their tunes.
Yeah.
And at one point, one of the guys from Ylvis came over to me and said like, "Maybe you can turn off that tune because we have heard it enough." And that was the Fox, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
I've also heard rumors that you grew up with rock and roll, and you were touching the drums quite a lot. Or doing a lot of not touching.
Touching the drums. Yeah. I when I was younger, I would only listen to rock, like metal and rock. That was the thing. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was like Children of Bottom and Dimmy Borgir, like even like really.
No way.
Yeah. Really hard.
But Dimmy Borgir.
Have you heard the drums?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's on a different level.
Yeah, it is.
But the cool thing again, they are probably the biggest
it's exporting music in Norway, maybe.
It's like the biggest export of music from Norway ever.
Yeah.
Which is also a story. But how do you go from like that interest? Because that,
I think it's because of the DJing. Because when I started DJing, I played a lot of different music, and not just house music. I tried to play some rock, and I'm from a small town, right? Most people want to listen to something they can dance swing to or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think that since I started playing as a DJ, house music is more common to play as a DJ, right?
Yeah.
So I think I just moved into enjoying house more and more because of that. So. But I still had, I played drums for a couple of years, and I think that helped me a lot, when I'm making drum patterns in songs right now. And I also, do play some live stuff, have some pads and you play live.
So we can hear some of your drums.
It is MIDI triggered though, but it's a great way to, add some flavor to the mix, to have some more swing in the drums instead of it being static, and you also have like how much velocity on each sample, right? Yeah.
And a funny thing is that you come from the smallest place in the world, which maybe have given you like a drive to reach out to the world. But I was just thinking that what is the biggest gig you have done? How many people do you think?
I think that was Veglista Rådhusplass in Oslo. I don't know. They said it was like 50,000 or 60,000 or something.
And that's the fun fact. How many people does live in your hometown?
I don't know. I think it's like 4,000.
So you have played for, one live event with 10 times more people than from.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty big. Yeah. The funny thing was, Vegelista. I think that's one of the biggest It's one of the biggest shows in all of Scandinavia, I think. Like concerts, free concerts or something. I don't remember. But the funny thing is that we played for 60,000 people at the Veglista, and the day before Eminem was playing, I think, and he had like just 50.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh way! Oh, that's cool. But I mean, Veglista has always been like a huge attraction. I mean, also a great way for artists to reach out and new artists and so on. I need to stick to this because else this conversation will go for hours. So what artists have you always wanted to collaborate with? Like, is there a dream artist that you...
Yeah, like one of the first, major electronic dance music producers that I just started to like was Deadmau5. So it would be pretty cool to try something with him, though.
Yeah.
Like, do a collab with someone like him. But, he's quite a special guy.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, for me, he's a mystery. And I think it's also probably based on the brand. I mean, whenever you see him on a stage, you don't see his face. By my mind, I don't... most of the artists I know, I recognize. I mean, when I think about them, I tend to look at their face. I mean, in my...
But it's, he has the mask, like, because of the dead mouse he found in his computer. And
oh, that's the story.
Yeah. He came back from holiday or something. I don't remember what it was, but he found a dead mouse. He was cleaning out the computer inside the cabinet, and he found a dead mouse in there. So that's why he chose the name. Oh wow! Because before that, he was called BSOD, like Blue Screen of Death. That was his name before.
Okay, so I mean that mouse actually saved him because that's an amazing brand. It's a great name.
Yeah.
And going back to you as a brand as well. I mean. Most people would think that your name, SJUR, is an artist name, but it's actually your real name. Yeah, it is my real name.
Yeah, it is. And most people don't believe me. Like, even Norwegians think that it's weird, so...
Yeah.
That's why it's such a good artist name,
Yeah,
it's like
I love
4 letters, easy to, like... But, some people don't know how to pronounce it, though.
No.
Like, I listened to this radio channel with some... I don't remember which song it was, but some guy was... just said on the radio like, listen to the new song from the Norwegian producer SJUR.
Yeah,
he didn't even want to try to. He didn't even try.
I think they did that in the start with Kygo as well.
Yeah.
They didn't say Kygo.
But Kygo, you can say Kygo.
Yeah,
but SJUR is really weird. Like SJUR.
It's easy to say in Norwegian, SJUR.
SJUR. Yeah.
But in I realize when I'm trying to speak English here, which might be horrible, I say SJUR.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Which
I say sure as well. But
But in Norway, it's SJUR, which is quite nice and simple. Could you share any experience in your artist career, producer career, that is just like really memorable, like a big gig, or a great meeting with someone you look up to, or?
Yeah, I still remember that the first time I met Sony, with my biggest release, Let Me Love You.
Yeah.
Because I actually went to another label first with the song, and I presented the song to another label, and but they didn't like it. So I was like,
no way.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, maybe.
But how many hundreds of? I mean, it's
now it's over 100 million views now on Spotify.
And they didn't like it.
They turned it down. Wow. Yeah. So I just told that maybe this is not for me. Making music that way. So my plan was actually to just post it for free on SoundCloud, as I've done with all my songs before, right?
Yeah.
But then a friend of mine in Sony contacted me and asked me what I was doing and if I could be a DJ for another artist in Sony for this one gig in Oslo. Oh. And then I think I showed them the song on backstage before I went on, and they loved it. So yeah, and here it is. Now it's out. So. And it's a pretty good story because if I didn't come to Oslo and show them the song, it wouldn't come out, and now it's my biggest song.
Oh wow! Yeah. I mean that's crazy. And how is the feeling of like knowing that so many people have listened to just that one song? It's like
I don't know. It's hard to think about. Like I cannot
relate to it.
No, it's like just way too much, and I don't think about it that much either. Because people like it, that's okay. But work on the new project, But the problem is that my first song is the biggest one, right? So I have to try to come up with something that I'm gonna match that one.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that could in general be a challenge for any creative people. I mean,
to
whatever
go out
you
on
do,
top and then try to.
Yeah, I mean that's why. Like, I mean, I think sometimes an artist might it be healthy to have a journey instead of like start like that.
Yeah.
So, for example, I mean, for example, Justin Bieber. I mean, if you reach to the top level when you're 16 or 15 or whatever, I think that it will kind of kill your creativity or. Me myself, I would
maybe
struggle.
I love my social life, right? And if you go out on top like he had, but when he did when he was how much 15, 13, whatever, I don't know, but you know how much of a social life can you have? You know.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can see now when you see Kygo and the guys going in the street, they cannot go alone at all.
No.
You know?
No. There is one good thing about Norway, though. I mean, you can actually be quite big and walk around in Norway.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Because Norwegians tends to be like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to that guy.
No, they're going to stand on the side and taking like, you know, some sneaky photos of you or something. Look what I.
and I mean, what's it been? I mean, we touched into COVID-19 in the start here. It is really strange times. But do you think that, I mean, will this change the industry somehow, or will it? I mean, for example, just the fact that this Neverland is that the big festival in
Neverland. I think that Michael Jackson's.
Yeah, no, not Neverland. Tomorrowland. Sorry guys. Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
They actually launched their first like virtual.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I mean. Stuff like that would happen. So I mean,
and you also have the Fortnite thing with Marshmallow. That's the biggest festival in the whole, like ever, like attendance or something. They had like 1 million people there.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I mean, it might be. I mean, that COVID-19 opened new doors for new. I mean, music and games.
Yeah, you can see new technology, you know, emerging from the whole thing because we have the need for it right now. So I think that's a good thing, but I don't think virtual festivals are the future, though.
No, it's an alternative.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally not the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe I mean, for people that I mean. So, I mean, if you're gonna go to every single festival, that's impossible. But it's an option if you want to go to one each year, and then you want to actually also enjoy some of the other ones the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Then there is something.
But it would be cool if they did some, you know, virtual things so you could follow the festivals. But most of the big ones have, you know, a live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been actually sitting at home watching live streams from Tomorrowland and Ultra Music Festival and. You know, at one point I just suddenly hear like, you know, some intros with the snare and kick or something, and I'm like, fuck, I know that pattern. And I'm like, oh, that's my song.
Oh, wow.
yeah. And then suddenly I'm like, yeah, it's my song. And I'm sitting there like looking around if there's someone I can tell.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm sitting at home alone.
Oh, wow. And I mean, final question will be, I mean, you have achieved quite crazy I mean, amazing stuff in quite a short time.
Huh?
Will you? I mean, is the production side of you, or is the artist side of you? What is? I mean, are you in between there? Would you always be a producer, artist, or will you be a DJ? I mean, there is 3 different skills. Mixed here.
It is. Yeah, I try to combine all the 3 because you know. That's a good thing to have as variation, you know, like being a music producer now, you know, Monday to Friday, and then I can travel around in the weekends and play like festivals and gigs and stuff, and then, you know, and the artist side of it, I don't like to be called an artist, because of course I am, but I think myself as a music producer, you know, I make music. Not big, I don't know, but it's I'm not calling myself an artist.
No, because I mean, but you are all the 3s. Though,
yeah.
Which I also think is like it's clever. I mean, being able to do all of those, because I mean, if you only do one, and especially in times like this, then it's a bit more scary just doing one of those parts.
Yeah, and you also need the DJ and artist part of it, because I notice now when I've been sitting at home in my studio for 5 or 6 months, on how long it's been, I noticed that, you know, if I now can go out and show the music to people, you know, I can of course I can tease you. I can send you some songs.
Yeah.
Of course I do. Like every new thing, I send you everything.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And but the thing is that, you know, if you don't have the arena that where you can play it in front of people, it gets a bit tired.
Yeah.
Like just sitting there and having a lot of good songs laying, and like I cannot show them, but I can show them to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's like being a painter, and
But I have a new release now coming up in I don't know. Soon.
Oh.
Yeah, soon coming a real cool song.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. And I think we should end today's show by that. Please go and check out SJUR on Spotify and YouTube and whatnot. I think that this guy have just started. You will hear a lot about this superstar in the future. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions and tips for the next guest. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And enjoy it live.